Hey guys, welcome back. Today Casey's going to walk us through how to prepare specifications. And specifications are basically a project manual for each construction project. When we prepare a set of construction documents, we always need the actual plan set, but then there's always a set of specifications that will go with that plan set. This doesn't apply to single residential projects. We would not provide a project manual or specifications, but for all commercial projects or large subdivisions, we would. And these specifications provide standard practices for how things need to get built, what specification the concrete needs to be, or the paving, or concrete retaining walls. So they're very important, but we have a certain process that we've put together to make this a little bit more simple, and Casey's going to walk through this with us today. So let's learn.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Casey. Today we're going to be going over how to do a specifications manual for any given project. So as you can see here, I've got my file explorer pulled up with the given project that we're going to be doing our specifications manual for. And the first thing we're going to want to do is make a specifications folder, a folder dedicated so that we can put all the documents we need into that folder just to keep our directory nice and organized. We're going to navigate to cvLX support, company docs and policies, excuse me, that's not correct, documentation, specifications, cvLX specification template, and then we're going to copy this Word document, cvLX spec template full general. This is going to be applicable to most projects. We have a different spec template for athletic projects like track and fields, which we do very, very sparsely. So you're probably not going to be using that. And then partial general, very rare that we use the partial general, maybe for some smaller projects. So typically you're going to copy the full general in 95 out of 100 cases. So we're just going to go ahead and copy this, and then we're going to navigate back to our directory, which is Hillcrest Drive Storage, and then our folder. We'll paste this guy back in here, and then we can go ahead and rename it. I'm just going to rename it with the project number, and then specifications, and then today's date. We can go and open this guy up. So here on the title page, we're going to fill out the relevant information for the project, name of project, the address, our project number, today's date. And then for the picture, you can put in any relevant picture for the given project. This is a self-storage project, so we can use other self-storage projects that we've done in the past, or we can use just a general photo of self-storage. It doesn't have to be something specific, especially if it's not built yet. We can't provide a picture of something that's not built yet. So we're just going to go ahead and open up Google. We know this is a self-storage place. I'm not exactly sure the specific tenant, whether it's Life Storage, CubeSmart, or some other specific tenant. So we can just look up self-storage facility, go to images, find one that's appropriate. An indoor photo is probably fine for this matter, so we'll just go ahead and save this image. We'll drop it into our file directory, specifications, cover image. Okay, and then we're going to insert this image. See if a WebP file, there we go. Okay, we'll just go ahead and drop that guy in there. You can elongate it to fill out the page. It's usually not a big deal. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and drop in the name of our project, which is Hillcrest Drive Storage. Okay. And then our address, I'm just going to go ahead and open the latest CDs, which looks to be this, and I'm just going to reference the cover page in this DWG file for the address. Today's date we can go ahead and fill out. Today is January 17th, 2025. And the project number for this project is 23413. Give this CAD file a second to load so we can reference the cover page for the address, or our title block for the address. Which is 2030 Moreland Avenue Southeast. So we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to move this over to my other monitor so that I can type this in. 2030 Moreland Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia, 30316. Okay, so now our cover page is totally filled out. Now we're going to scroll down to our table of contents. So this is the table of contents for the full general specifications template. What's relevant about this is that when filling out a specifications manual, we're not going to include information that's not relevant to the project. So if we have a project that has absolutely no HDPE piping, then we're not going to include an appendices on the installation for HDPE piping. And that's the same for all of these things in this table of contents. If there's no bicycle racks, we're going to completely delete this portion from the table of contents, and then we're going to scroll down to that relevant section in the body of our specifications manual, and we're going to delete that entire segment. So typically, if you have a lot of context on this project, you've been working on this project a lot, then you will probably have a good idea of what is and isn't going to be installed onto this project. So you can come through here and kind of do this part yourself. If you are not keyed in on what's going on in this project, if you were handed the specifications manual task by another engineer or a project manager, and you haven't previously worked on this project, what's most beneficial is to print out or send the table of contents alone to the project manager and have them mark up and cross out what sections are not going to be on this specifications manual. So I know for this project that we're not going to have precast concrete unit paving and brick unit paving, so we're going to delete those guys. We're not going to have steel guardrail or chain link fences and gates, so we're going to delete those guys. And pretty much everything else is going to stay. So once again, please print out or send the table of contents to the relevant project manager so that they can mark up the table of contents and you can get rid of the sections which are no longer needed. So like I said, precast concrete unit paving and brick unit paving are not needed, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete those guys. And then steel guardrail and chain link fences and gates are not needed, so I'll just go ahead and delete those guys. Okay, so this is now my more updated table of contents. So now we're going to navigate to those sections. So I can use Control F to just find those sections. So precast, concrete, unit paving, right here. So this entire section I'm going to select, and I'm just going to scroll down until we get to the end of section, which is pretty easy to see. End of section, grab it, and delete. We don't want two blank pages next to each other like this, so this entire page right here should be able to get deleted, like that. Sometimes they can be super funky. See, we don't want to delete those. And sometimes it's just super funky for some reason. This is page 78, this is page 77, page 76. And Control X is not working for some reason. Okay, we'll come back to this. We could just, let's see, we'll delete this guy. Apologies for this troubleshooting. And then this page right here. For some reason, just will not delete. Which is super frustrating, so we're just going to leave that be for now. Okay, now we can navigate to brick unit paving, which should be the next section, this guy, and we're just going to do the same thing, grab the entire section, delete. So now we've got 3 blank pages in a row, which will not delete for some reason. Super frustrating. Sometimes these pages, 4 blank pages in a row. Okay, great. We're going to come back and clean that up later after the end of the video. Don't want to waste too much time. Now we're going to navigate down to steel guardrail. So we can just Control F again, steel guardrail, section, steel guardrail, and we can just delete this entire section here. And then we can go to chain link, which should be the very next section, chain link fences and gates. Same thing, go ahead and delete this entire section. Okay. Come back and deal with those pages later. Okay, so now we've got our Word document pretty much set up. We've gotten rid of the sections that are no longer needed and also gotten rid of those sections in the table of contents. So we can go ahead and save this file, and then we will save the file as a PDF. Save as, browse, specifications, and save the file as a PDF. And then we're going to stitch together our PDF with the appendices located in support, documentation, specifications, spec template, and assorted appendices. These 3 for HDPE hydraulics, durability, and installation are going to need to be stitched as appendices in the end of our specifications manual because we included the HDPE installation portion because there's HDPE pipe getting installed on this site. Okay, so in order to stitch in our appendices, we're just going to go ahead and copy all 3 of these appendices. We'll go back to our project directory and into our specifications folder. We'll paste these guys in there, and then we're just going to open up PDF SAM or Bluebeam. And we're just going to merge these 3 folders into the back of our spec manual. So if you notice, if there's other relevant appendices that have to be added at the back of the spec manual, you'll have to add to the table of contents to the appendices. The HTTP installation files that we're about to add to the back are already included in the appendices section by default in our full general template. So we don't have to do anything in this case. Okay, now we've got Bluebeam open, and we're going to go ahead and combine all 4 of our files by hitting File, Combine, and then we're just going to select this file right here, and then we're going to add the next 3 such that they're in the correct order. Press OK. And now we've got our completed PDF, which we can go ahead and save as this final specifications. We'll just name it final. Hit enter. And go ahead and close out of Bluebeam. We'll open up an Adobe, and now we have our finalized specifications manual for this given project. This is a super simple process, especially if you're able to take the table of contents to the product manager to have them mark it up, so that you know which sections to get rid of and delete. And then you can use any other software like PDF SAM or some sort of maybe Adobe software that they offer in order to stitch the documents together to have our finalized version.